And for this one, of course, it doesn't work for all the products. So depending on like low and high involvement products, or whether the product that you are buying or wearing is visible or not, there are different dimensions of it from the consumer side as well, right? So for non-durable and durable goods, for example, so you buy something high quality, not because people will see it most of the time, because you want to rely on the product, right? So you pay extra to the brands that you think they are reliable, okay? But if it is, let's say, fridge that everyone would see when they come to your house, you might still think of a good brand because you know that other people will see it. But if it is your mattress, let's say, which is something that we will have soon, then it doesn't matter the brand because no one will see the mattress. As your friends or family, no one will come and then take the bed sheet up and say that let me check your mattress brand, right?
You haven't met my mother-in-law.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe your mom's or but yeah, but involvement level, low involvement, high involvement, we generally use those type of classification for products. So if you are talking about like a low involvement, like low effort from the consumer side, like confectionery goods or most of the fast-moving consumer goods, FMCG goods, they are mostly low involvement, right? So they are not that expensive. If you make a mistake, you can buy another one. It's not that critical, and people generally do not think much about them when they buy it, right? And they spend less effort. And for this, you probably wouldn't pay much attention to the brand or other stuff. You generally go by habit and say that, okay, I really like this taste, or let me try this. If I don't like it, I can just dump it or throw it away. But high involvement product, it's different, right? So if you are buying a computer or a smartphone or car, you spend time, you ask people, you are very much involved, like the effort and analysis is much higher. And for those, you also pay attention to the brand because people know what type of car you drive, right? Or computers. So it is funny when I say computers, and then we are not talking about visible. So if you have this Apple product, and mine is dirty because my daughter likes to draw on it, like paint on it. This is like a marker I couldn't delete. But look at the logo. Logo is reverse for the user, but it is proper for the people around you. And again, based on Steve Jobs' biography, maybe half of it is a lie, but you never know, because they said, according to rumor, Steve Jobs once went to Starbucks, nearby Starbucks or another coffee shop, and he sees that so many people are working on their computers, and then the logo is reversed other way around for the people around them. And said that actually user doesn't see the logo, it's more visible for the people around you, and that's why he put this that way. And why many people, including me, pay more money. Actually, this school bought this for me. But my personal computer is also like a cheaper version of Apple as well, And why do I buy it? Because you like to show people that you can afford it, right? And whenever I use it, I try to like the computer, but I know it's not the best, especially if you are running the software program or something. CPU is not that great. Actually, the latest one with the new chip, not the Intel one, but ARM chip, the M1, it's much better. But still, it's all about visibility of consumption, right? So that it's high involvement. We pay more attention to the brand and then status symbol or the signal they send to the people around us. And another classification of products, so why I'm sharing all of those classification, because when we look at the products, there are some differences, right? In terms of consumers' purchase preferences, right? And most of the popular one, the maybe more popular one is the low involvement, high involvement, but this is also really good classification, very simple, hedonic versus utilitarian goods. So hedonic goods are the ones that you really like to buy, like Louis Vuitton bag, even if it's not high quality, good quality, because somehow you feel like it's going to give you pleasure, right? But the utilitarian goods are the ones that you really need. So you don't enjoy buying them, but based on the functionality, you buy one. So most of the time, you don't care about the mouse, right? So you just need one. This is a utilitarian good. So that's why I never buy a mouse from Apple, right? So there's no point. So it doesn't make sense to me because it's not a hedonic good for me. But if you are talking about like a fashion item or like a dress or something, they are more hedonic, okay? Because it gives us pleasure. And we can safely ignore this, but this is a really old one. But since I use this is in one of my articles, I feel like I need to share this as well. So Copeland shared this classification for luxury items, but what he says is really important because he said, so something might not be luxury for you, but it might be luxury for some other people. And he gives a very simple example of Coca-Cola. He said that a can of Coke is just like a maybe low involvement product for most of the Western people, right? So people live in the west part of the world, but for an African kid, it must be like a luxury item because it's not available, it's scarce, right? So they cannot easily find it. So, and then he came up with this luxury classification for luxury goods, especially with convenience goods, shopping goods, and specialty goods. And he says a convenience good can be luxury as well for different target segments, right? And yeah, so that's why we have this, but especially for luxury good classification. And where it gets more interesting is visibility, right? Sometimes for some product, you don't even actually search for them. You buy them when you need them, right? So you don't actually see them around. So you probably don't know other people insurance companies unless you need one and you ask them, okay? Like life insurance or other products as well. So those are unsold products. So you only try to find them or learn about them when you are really in need of them. And then consumption visibility is something that I was trying to tell you. So for those, if it is something highly visible, then brands matter most or more. When it's not that visible, then you are actually buying it for your own benefit. Okay?
It's interesting on the mattress. I disagree on that. So for years we had a mattress that just needed changing. So instead of just getting any old mattress, the first mattress we had came with the bed.
Yeah.
We actually paid more for the mattress than the bed, but it's like I get the best night's sleep.
But
no one's seen that other than my husband and myself.
yeah, but then it means you really like to have a really good mattress. That's why, right? But I'm talking about like visibility. You didn't buy it because it was really famous brand. You bought it because you think that you are going to get a really good quality sleep from that mattress.
There was an element of the reviews. It's all on the ads, TV ads. So there was an element that, okay, this is a good
100%.
Good mattress.
No, really good example. That's what I'm saying. So you actually did your research to buy a really good mattress, not because other people would see it.
Correct.
But if you are buying a luxury bag, you would probably do not do that research. You just try to go and find a like brand and the product that other people around you know about it, right? So because the motivation would be different. Because you say, okay, everyone will see it. I'm going to carry this, and I'd like to buy something more fancy that other people know that I can afford, that I can buy.
Yeah, I disagree on that. I think that's a status element, but I don't think everyone fits in that.
I mean,
a lot of people do, and they buy it just for that status to show that they can afford it.
Yeah.
You can say the same about cars. People, some might buy it because they love cars. Some buy it because just to show that they might know nothing about the car, but they've bought it to show everyone that they can afford it.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone fits into that.
No, I mean, generalizations are even this one, when I make generalizations, are not 100% correct. So that's the part of psychology and marketing, right?
Okay.
But we generally talk about majority of the people when we make classifications. But given that, when I said that you need to keep in mind different segments and their needs, right? But when we talk about visibility of the product, visibility matters to the people who like to show off or who care about the people's opinion around them, right? So other people's opinion. So that's why I said it. Of course, like you cannot say that all the people when they buy a luxury item. I know, for example, someone I was friends with his son. So he was buying a really luxury shirt, and then he was taking it to his personal tailor and saying that, can you just get rid of the brand? To me, still, it was a crazy thing to do, right? So then just buy something, I don't know, out of brand or something like that. So still, but he was doing it because he knew that it doesn't matter. Right? So at some point, because he doesn't need to show his status. Everyone knows that he's super rich. But for most of the people, they like that element. That's why we have brands, right? And even for some of those people, and I learned it recently, and this is really crazy for me. I think for Hermès, they don't sell this. Jane Birkin bag, I think, or so something like that. Even if you have money, even if you are super rich, they're like, No, we cannot sell this to you. First, you need to buy some other items several years, and then you should wait in the queue for several years as well. Or some people, like politicians or people in power, they use their influence and get a Hermes bag for themselves or for their partners.
Ferrari does the same thing.
Ferrari does the same.
Yeah, Ferrari same thing. So for some of the models, right? Yeah.
For your market, there is a change though. Like a lot of people on Wall Street now are deliberately going out to buy cheap items, or they'll buy a Rolex, take the chain off and put like a £20 like Swatch watch band on it.
Yeah,
They
to
just-
hide
They
it.
don't want the brand anymore. So there is a change.
In the
in
trend one, yeah. I think there are a lot of studies, especially looking at Gen Z, how their purchase habits are different, how they don't like to own these fancy items. Instead, they like to be, I don't know, like free of this type of belongings and possessions. So there are definitely like different behaviors or trends in different generations. But again, remember, we are just covering those classification for different people. But I totally agree, especially for Gen Alpha, Generation Alpha and Gen Z. Now, instead of buying a house, they said that why do I actually invest a lot of money and then feel like I have to pay this for 30 years or something? I don't need to buy a house, right? So I can travel more instead of that. And there's like a nomadism, for example, right? So